folks, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Week in Review, a video where we take a look at all the videos that we did the past week, giving you short summaries of each one of them, and that way if you want to watch the full review, you just click a link in the description below. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, Garcia here. Let's take a look at what I reviewed last week. I reviewed Welcome to New Las Vegas, the follow-up to the original Welcome to. It's a standalone game. I rate this one a 6 out of 10. I would say I ultimately do like it better than the original one, but for every right thing it does, some of the new mechanisms are neat, the setting I like better, it's a little more concrete. For every one of those things, it takes a step back in complexity and a general feeling of being overwrought. A lot of the ideas here feel overwrought, feel like they should have been sanded down a little bit, maybe removed, maybe just simplified. So this is not the kind of game I'm going to get to the table and will hit the table very frequently, because it is kind of a bear to remember everything and to reteach. Next up, I reviewed Mystic Market. This one I rate a 7 out of 10. This is very much a family game. It's gorgeously produced. It's simple. It's got a little stock market kind of feel to it, in which you're collecting sets and then selling those. When you sell a set, the price for that thing plummets. I really like it. I think it's going to, if it finds an audience that likes the setting, the fantasy setting, and likes a little meanness in the game, I think this game could do quite well. It should do well. It's a great game. And then lastly, Village Green, which I rate an 8 out of 10. And this one is a very puzzly little card game in which you are going to be building a garden, basically. You're putting out cards in front of you on a grid, and you'll be scoring based on conditions that attach themselves to a column or a row in your garden. A small game that feels bigger than it would lead you to believe from looking at the box. Nice puzzly aspect, cool look to it. It's a couple of tiny little graphical issues, but other than that, I really like it. And that's it for me. I will see you on the next one.
Hey there everybody, it's Mike DiLisio. This week I did solo mode reviews for 2 games. First I did Rallyman GT, which is a rally racing game. I felt like it was almost more of a puzzle game than it was a race game, and it didn't quite work to me for either, so I gave that a 6 out of 10. And I also reviewed Cosmic Colonies, which is a space-themed polyominoes game, and while there's not a whole lot of theme there, it really felt almost more like an abstract game. I really did like this as a solo game. I felt like it had a really clever way of handling a AI deck where you shared that deck with the robot opponent. I gave that a 7.5 out of 10 and a seal of approval. That's it for me this week. Let's keep it moving.
Okay, so for me, first of all, we have Above. This is an abstract strategy game based on the Greek gods, and it's essentially run one of the gods to the middle of the table, except everyone runs them as close as they can, and then you take turns trying to get one in first. It's just a really bad game, unfortunately. I like how it looks, but nah. Stick'em. This is based on a very old trick-taking game. There's now an English version of it. A lot of people like it. Read the comments in my video to see how much people disagree with me, but I found it just to be too random for a trick-taking game and too mean. It just didn't work for me. Deadlies. This is an okay Uno-esque game. It works better for kids, although it's kind of a weird game to put for kids since it's about the 7 deadly sins. Solarquest, a reprint of a classic game from my childhood. It's really not that great of a game. I have some nostalgic love for it, though. My kids enjoy it. As you roll dice, go around. It's basically Monopoly in space. Harry Potter House Cup Competition. This one dropped a point or so for some production problems I have with the game, but it's a solid worker placement game, especially if you're a Harry Potter fan. Cosmic Encounter Duel. I know people expected this one to be higher for me. It has everything from Cosmic Encounter except the negotiation, and lo and behold, that's the part I missed the most. It's well done, and I don't dislike it. I just don't think it's fantastic. Telestrations Upside Drawn. This is a game in which you draw using the paper rather than a pen. What does that even mean? Watch my review to find out. School of Sorcery. This is a new Dr. Finn game, a 2-player game that works really well back and forth. In fact, would be rated higher, except I think the production's okay and the look of the game is really boring. But the gameplay itself is fun. Alma Mater, this is a brand new game from Plan B Games, Eggert Spiel. There's a lot going on. It's a tight game, good production values. I enjoy it. I think that it may be a forgettable game as the years go by, but for right now, it's a good, sell books for points type style game with a cool theme. Rise of Queensdale. I played through the whole Legacy game with my kids, and I give you my final opinions on the game and what I think of it. Ride the Rails is a little train game that I was very impressed with. It's mean, it's very interactive, and it's pretty fast for what it is with some good, thoughtful choices in it. And then finally, Marvel United. When we did the review of Marvel United, I said I didn't know where my rating is. It's 8.5. The more I think about this game, the more I play this game, the more I like it. It is what I'm looking for. It's a fairly simple, cooperative game that feels very Marvel-esque with the different Marvel superheroes. And the price point for what you get is astoundingly good. I'm very happy with this game, and I imagine that I'll be playing it for some years in the future. Also this week, I did some App Wars. I played some more Slay the Spire. Try not to turn the channel into a Slay the Spire channel. And Smash Up. We did our top one-hit wonder games. And I did an overview of Pandemic Legacy Season 0. We'll talk about the full review later on. I continued my series 10,000 and below, looking at games that most people ignore. And we did a crowd surfing and did a live play of Sonara. So lots of stuff on the channel this week. I hope you enjoy it. We have more coming this coming week. Until then, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Week in Review on the Dice Tower.